All right, folks, we are back at it again for day 3 of the 2021 Cal Ripken 8-year-old Pacific Southwest Regional Tournament, where today we have the South Sevier Rams facing off against Southern California. I believe, what's the town? Hartwell, Long Beach in Southern California. And today we're excited. The boys are ready to play, hopefully, and I am joined here by the legend, Stuart Hepworth. Say hello, Stuart.
Well, first of all, we've got to get beyond that legend moniker. That's not at all true. So beyond that, yeah, we're happy to be here. Just looking outside, it's a great afternoon, evening to play ball. It does look like we could get some rain. But as for right now, it's overcast and it feels good outside. It's fairly cool, not too hot, so good evening for baseball.
Yeah, we've had a long day. It's stayed pretty good with overcast, and we did have some rain in between a couple games. But Stuart and I elected to do this from the comfort of my truck. And we have on the mound, I believe that is going to be Riley Sawyer, and we will have the Roberts cousins on short and third. Grayson Weary will be playing first. Cutler Hepworth will be playing left field with Kelton Porter in center, and I will figure out who's playing second and right field here pretty quick. Sawyer's first pitch is a little bit high, and the umpires today elected. I like these umpires. I've worked with them a lot behind the plate. They come to the announcers when they need stuff, and here's a foul ball back in the backstop. And these umpires they're pretty consistent. But today they've elected to wear the pink, and they each there's a crew of 4, and they rotate, and the 4th one will be behind the plate, usually in the stands, just making sure everything's good, and they're a good group of guys.
Yeah, and they've done a good job all week, and that's the key is consistency, like you said, and it seems like each ump behind the plate has done a good job of remaining consistent with the strike zone, and as we say that, we get a strikeout to start this game off, so that's a good start defensively for these little Rams.
Sawyer does a pretty good job on the helm for the Rams, and once he gets going, he can get in a rhythm and throw a lot of strikes. The lefty up for Hartwell Long Beach, number 9, swung on strike 2. Sawyer hustles back to the mound. And a line drive back to Sawyer up the middle. We have a play at first. And they get the out. Bang, bang play. Great job by Twitchell. That might have been off of the pitcher's mitt. Great job for Twitchell. Make the adjustment and get that out at first base.
Yeah, that ball looked like it was deflected by Riley on the mound and then to our second baseman and over to first. So that was a great little play.
I got to make sure that's Twitchell because I don't see the flowing locks. That might be Jack Parsons. Ground ball to short. And the play is out at first. And the South Sevier Rams get out of the first inning with no damage done. I think that was Jack Parsons at second that made that awesome play.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was Jack Parsons. And the nice thing about this start right here, that was 3 up, 3 down. So way to start for those AU Rams to get, off on the right foot defensively. So let's see if the bats can get going now.
Yeah, we've watched this Hartwell team play a couple times. They beat Richfield in a stinger last night by 1 run in the last inning, and they lost their first game pretty heavily. I'll have to check their record, but this is their 3rd game. And just for a little bit of clarification in the way the rules work, I'm going to explain to you some things that have happened. This tournament was originally scheduled for 8 teams, and one team had a kid with a broken arm and had some kids uncommitted and had to cancel last week. So the Rams, and in my book, stepped up and picked up an extra game. Now what that does for the rules and just the cause and effect, this game will be not counted on South Severe's tournament record. And so really the only that counts for Hartwell's record, and I'm rambling here, Stuart, but what it all boils down to is Hartwell needs this game, and South Severe was willing to pick up the extra game. All the other teams, they typically get 1 day off, and this is South Severe's day off.
Yeah, and it's a game that we gladly picked up just because the more games you play, the better the kids get. And so we were happy to pick up this game. And, you know, the boys aren't concerned about whether it counts or not in pool play. They just want to play ball. So here we are, and here we go to start off this half of the inning.
Up first for the Rams will be Rays Roberts. The lefty on the mound. Ball 1 outside for Roberts. Second pitch. Roberts up the middle. Ground ball to the shortstop. I will say this, watching Hartwell, their shortstop is a tough ball player. He has made some awesome plays. He made some awesome plays against Richfield. The pitcher usually pitches and gives up a lot of hits, and they've hit the ball up to this left side a lot, and that shortstop has made a lot of good plays.
You know, that's the amazing thing about these 8-year-olds is you will see some really good plays by these young kids. It just shows how far they've come and how quickly they've developed as 8-year-old kids playing baseball.
Yeah, I believe in Hartwell's first game, number 11, you're looking at his back, he was the player of the game. His name, and I know this just because I've heard his name a lot, is Junior Sheridan. Another ground ball to short. Sheridan picks it up, and Roberts beats that one out. Roberts got the legs. Next up is going to be Kelton Porter, the center fielder and tough guy. Porter really is one of South Severe's most consistent hitters. Let's hope he can get it past the shortstop. We've had a lot of grounders to the shortstop. Ball outside. You know Roberts is heading to second.
You know, that's something else we haven't seen our last 2 ball games against these other teams is a lot of pass balls that allowed our runners to advance. And, you know, that's a big deal when you break up that force at second, and now it makes a tougher play to go to first base.
Great heads up by Roberts. You just about have to be already on the way towards the base anytime you see the ball in the dirt or bobbled. Porter fouls it off. The count is 2 strikes, 1 ball. Ball's under the dirt. Roberts to third.
Yeah, and we're at that point where if we can get a little bit of momentum to start this game, it'll go a long ways for these South Sevier 8-year-olds. You know, we haven't scored a lot of runs the last 2 ball games, so just getting any runs at this point would be a big boost to their confidence in the first inning of this game.
Yes, confidence in this age is so key. My advice to my son, as we're going to have a play at the plate. Roberts with the speed scores for South Sevier Rams and gets their first run home. My advice to my son today before the game was, son, you got to play. My sons, plural, have twins on the team. My advice was just this: play fearless. And ball 4 for Porter, takes a walk. Next up is Riley Sawyer. Let's see if Riley, being on the mound, can do something here to help himself out. Stuart, I'll give you $5 if you can pronounce the Anaheim Angels pitcher who also hits the ball.
I'll say his last name, Otani.
Okay, so this is what my thoughts here is. Riley Sawyer is a great pitcher, and what more can he do right now is get a hit. Next ball's in the dirt as Porter already on third.
You know, that's something we've seen throughout the season is when kids walk, we've generally been able to get them around and score, and these last 2 games against these past 2 teams, that just hasn't happened. So it's good to see us get some free passes and some freebies to start this game.
And we're going to have another play at the plate. This one might be close. Porter stands up and scores. 2 on the board for the Rams. Sawyer working the count. Now at 3 balls, no strikes. And foul ball. Sawyer will look at another one as he takes a fist bump from Coach Michael Matthey. You know, I really can't say enough positive vibes for Michael being the president of our league and just organizing all this chaos of bringing 7 teams to our little valley and making sure everybody's happy and all the field work and everything's prepped and ready to go. As Sawyer makes the first. Now up, Kell Larson. Kell's been pretty hot this tournament. He's been hitting the ball pretty well.
Looks like we're going to have a conference on the mound, possibly even a pitching change. So, yeah, we're going to change pitchers right here. So the Rams, score a couple quick runs, and it looks like this Southern California team doesn't like what they see, and they're going to switch it up. So, that's something that we've seen all year with these 8-year-old pitchers is, one pitcher can change the difference. It can either swing it for the good way or swing it for the bad way, depending on how you look at things.
On the mound will be number 1 for Hartwell. What's his name, buddy? Julian. Okay. See, we got the cheap seats in the house, and my buddy here, we've been visiting his boys. Number 7, Mateo, right?
Mateo, you got it.
Mateo. I should have all these names memorized by now. See, I get double duty. I come out here and commentate, and then when I'm not in here, I'm announcing the PA. So I've said all these names once or twice. As number 1 has a talk with the umpire, the umpires typically tell them the complete situation. Runner on first, the whatever the count may be. the score and the inning. And a little bit slower pitch, a little high, as Sawyer still second. Kell Larson eyes the pitch, and that's a ball outside as Sawyer stills third. Larson finally switched hands. He used to call timeout with his left hand towards the pitcher, and now he's got that figured out when he steps in the box. And now the count is 2 balls, 1 strike. And Kell grounds it to second. Second baseman picks it up and gets Kell out, but more damage done. Sawyer gets the run, so for Kell, that's an RBI. I don't want him to hang his head. That's a positive.
Yeah, and with 3 runs on the board, this is, we couldn't ask for a better start to this game as South Sevier fans and dads of these kids. So, a really good start for them, and let's keep it going.
And now, Cutler Hepworth. Cutler does a great job hitting the ball. And a ground ball to shortstop, but Cutler's, good play by that shortstop. Way to charge the ball. Gets them out for 3 outs after a first inning. We have a score of 0 for Hartwell, 3 for the home team Rams. Got a couple sponsors for you. And first of all, we just want to thank these sponsors for bringing your local programming on KTTA. And also a service announcement. I'm looking over to my left to Michael Parsons, and I got the commitment from him. He said that tomorrow, we already know that we're playing Richfield. Here we are, calling it from the cheap seats. But Michael promised me that we would televise tomorrow's game, South Sevier versus Richfield. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, what time is that game at, Rick? Do we have a time on that yet?
I'll check with that right now. I believe it's 10:30 as Hepworth cracks a cold one. Had my trivia pulled up from commentating. That first game will be at 10 o'clock. South Sevier will go in as the 7th seed, and Richfield will be the home team going in as the 6th seed. Richfield was able to get that 7th seed by allowing less runs than the Rams. Okay, now I want to get this right. Over there in right field is Twitchell. Jack Parsons is on second. The Roberts are on short and third. Hepworth in left. Porter in center. Sawyer on the mound, and the ever so great catcher, Kell Larson, catching.
And I take it that's Grayson over on first base. I couldn't quite see that one.
Yes, that's Grayson Weary, my baby boy, on first base.
Baby boy, but built like a truck, that kid.
He's going to be mad at me that I said that. And Sawyer can't find the strike zone, ball 2. Speaking of that South Sevier Richfield game, we're excited to bring it to you. But I just want to mention the sportsmanship between these boys who are rivals. You better believe tomorrow both teams will come to play. but when they're not playing, as a fly ball to center field, Porter gets it back to the pitcher. You know, I've been here all day announcing, and a lot of us parents have our boys here during the games. Richfield has played a double header, and every one of those boys were cheering on the Richfield team. And pass ball, and we are going to have a stolen base from Junior Sheridan. We've had great weather for baseball as we have a grounder. Roberts gets the out, looked back Sheridan, but Sheridan's smart base running. Great play by Rays Roberts to look back that runner and still get the out. It was a bang play. Now up Earnhardt for Long Beach. As I mentioned, we have had great baseball weather. You couldn't ask for much more. We've had overcast just about every day this week, and we've only had maybe 10 minutes of postponed baseball. Ball's in the dirt. Larson knocks it down. Runs back the base runner. I feel like a lot of these catchers, and we need to just call time right here, because that, oh, and he's going home. Larson's not watching. And I think we have a timeout. I think Sheridan is going to get sent, but Sheridan, impressive base running. I don't know if it would have been out or safe, but you can say impressive or risky, but we had a bang play at the plate because Larson wasn't watching.
And it looks like the South Sawyer coaches are complaining on this one. They must feel that he would have been out, but the lesson right there is that the boys have to be aware of those runners on the base right there. So, you know, good base running right there, and he might have been safe, who knows, but it appeared as though time was called, and that's why he was sent back to the base.
Coach Roberts looking for an explanation, and now the umpires in their pink uniforms are going to have a conference. I've been getting a little creative behind the backstop. I played Jeopardy music last time they had a conference like this. They're going to make their decision. Sheridan standing on third. Hartwell wanting to get Sheridan in for that first run. Willing to take risks.
Like you said earlier, I've been really impressed with this Sheridan boy on third base. He seems like a heady ball player. He's made some really good plays at shortstop. Obviously a good hitter. He had that good hit to start this inning, and he's a kid that's going to be aggressive on the base pass. So the South Sawyer team needs to be aware of him and not turn their back and allow him to.
And we have a decision. Unlucky for Sheridan. He is called out and comes from third. We don't know from here what their decision was based on, but we have a out number 2. Coach on third base, and his dad. We had an activity in our skills challenge where we asked coaches to have a race, and you could have seen his smile running around third, even though he wasn't as fast as some of the other teams. Seems like a pretty nice guy, Sheridan. Have to get Hepworth right here to tuck his dang shirt in.
I wish he wouldn't even have mentioned that, because I've been thinking that this whole half inning. I got to text his mom and get him to tuck that shirt in.
Yes, us as parents, high stress situations, I believe this is a little way to calm my nerves, is come out here and just run my mouth. I get text messages from my wife just about every inning. Sawyer elects to keep his arm warm by warming up, throwing the ball around the infield. I believe the thing in question was whether time was called. I think Sheridan was out at home. His dad wanting explanation. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's getting to that point now where we need to get back to playing ball. We spent a lot of time on.
This timeout is brought to you by Sevier County Commissioners Ralph Brown, Tudor Ogden, and Scott Johnson. Strive to represent the residents of Sevier County in the best way possible. They support growth and development of students in all high school and youth activities. And now we resume play with number 8 up to bat. And a hard hit ball, going to be foul though. Number 8 ahead of the pitch. Sawyer ahead in the count. Here's the pitch, a little low, ball 1. Third baseman Roberts giving Sawyer a little advice as strike 2. Sawyer ahead in the count. And I guess I was wrong. That was ball 4.
Yeah, I'll take the blame on that one. I must have had the count totally off on that. So, yeah, ball 4 puts a runner at first base.
We will not be perfect in our stats, but we try our hardest. Sawyer from the windup. Passed ball. As Hartwell steals second. This team is based out of Hartwell, Long Beach. I don't know how big of an area that is. And a fly ball to the second baseman. And that is out number 3. Great job by Jack Parsons to make the play and get under that fly ball.
You know, Jack has made a couple nice catches in the outfield, and that's probably why he's moved into second base, because of those nice plays, and he showed that was a smart decision, because again,
Parsons was, and we didn't get this info last game, was the player of the game for the South Sevier Rams last game, and rewarded by moving into second. And just so I don't get yelled at, because I did earlier today, the umpires are the main deciders of the game, and usually they'll base it off of a single team.
Jack got that reward yesterday because he made that great catch in left field that saved some with 2 outs, and that was a big moment for South Sevier.
Yes, like I said, I do my best, but today kid and said, I went 4 for 4, made an awesome catch, and didn't. What?
Yeah.
I'm sure he deserved it.
Do you know, Rick, if they do a player of the game for both teams or just the one team?
We've been doing a player of the game for both teams each game, and it will be Stuart and myself. We are also on the committee along with the umpires to decide the all tournament team, as the stress just falls upon me because my son is now up to bat.
And Grayson is due. He's a good hitter, and he's had a couple of tough games. I think he's due to get a big hit right here.
Every parent knows the feeling right now. And I think all the balls are in, but we're waiting for the umpires. As Grayson trots to the batter's box. And a high ball, ball one. And that one arcs in as strike one. Weary watches it. And ball two in the dirt outside. This pitcher's velocity might be tough. He's a little slower and the rhythm might not be there for the Rams.
The key with a pitcher like that ball really arcs in, and they have to time it perfectly or they'll miss it. They'll swing over the top.
And ball three outside for Weary. Hitters count right here. And ball four for Weary. Throws his bat and trots to first base. As Knox Piper steps up to the plate. Knox's dad is now filling my role and calling. As Knox gets a little grounder and runs it out at first. I would say grounder, but that was a little pop. You good?
Yeah, that was just in one of those places that is hard to get it out on. It was too short for the third baseman or the pitcher to catch in the air, and it just deadened on the infield. So hit soft enough to get him to first base, so hitting the right spot.
Now Rams have a runner on first and second as Easton Twitchell sees ball one. Weary and Piper with leads. As the season has gone on, I, as a sixth in line assistant coach, Stuart, I've just grown to love all these kids, cheering them all on as Twitchell sees the pitch and waits on it but fouls it off.
Again, this is kind of where you see the timing is off a little bit. It looks like that first foul that Twitchell hit, he was lunging at it a little bit out in front, and then on that one he almost swung too late and on the top of it. So timing is everything with these slower pitchers.
And as a coach, you're telling your boys, front of the box, top of the box, move forward so that you can take every little advantage. But also maybe with that arc, maybe you don't want to move all the way forward. And a ground ball back to the pitcher. Bobbles it, but he might have a play at third. as Weary slides into third, and now the bases are loaded. And Jack Parsons steps up to the plate with an opportunity to get some runs in for the Rams. We're getting a little more trickle on our windshield, Stuart. Parsons sees ball one.
Yeah, a few raindrops right now, but nothing to be alarmed about. I think we're going to be fine. Even if we get a short delay, it looks like it's not going to last, and it actually feels good out there, I think, for these kids.
As Parsons looks at strike one. Pitcher back to the mound. He's going to throw from the stretch. It really doesn't matter what these kids do because you can't lead off or steal. As Parsons gets a fly ball, and we're going to get doubled up. Piper not aware. And that probably should have.
Hey, I'm thinking that must have been an infield fly rule on that play, and it's one of those things where Knox, as an 8-year-old, doesn't understand necessarily, on a pop fly like that with no outs, you need to hold up and stay tight to the bag.
So now we will go from bases loaded to runners on the corners. Oh, line drive over the third baseman, and Weary's going to go home, but not the play's in time. And Hartwell gets out of the inning with a great play as Hepworth and I close our windows and turn on the AC.
So who was the hitter on that play, Rick?
That was Rays Roberts.
Rays Roberts. So, there's an important lesson to be learned on that play because the ball was hit directly to the shortstop, I think, and Rays stopped running because he thought it was going to be an easy catch for the shortstop. And because he stopped running or slowed down, that allowed that shortstop to still make the play even after the ball hit the ground.
Yes, you can never give up as a runner, and you always need to force the issue. And Sawyer, no, we're going to have this, we are going to have a pitcher's change, and it looks to me like Rays will get a chance to make up for that slight running error. We also have in at right field a substitution, Madden Matthey. And we're going to see who's going to come out here to left. Jack Parsons will stay on second. Grayson Weary still on first. Nix Roberts pitching. Nix Roberts on short. Easton Twitchell will now move to third. And in the game, you're looking at his butt. Berkeley Weary in at left field. Berkeley, another one of those players who I hope can have a little bit of confidence today. In my conversation earlier, he has the confidence. He said these Hartwell pitchers are a little bit slower, and I think I can catch up to them. So, a little insight from an 8-year-old. Piper warms him up. Stuart Hepworth and I staying dry, but the players and fans feeling a little bit of cool rain. Another sponsor for you, Monroe City. Thank you, Monroe City, for hosting this regionals tournament. July 24th celebration. I've been going around in between games trying to recruit some old men and some other players to play in this 3-on-3 tournament coming up. We also have the parade. We also have a tennis tournament. A lot of activities for you Monroe City residents. Snow College. You will find everything you need to succeed in your education at Snow College with campuses in Ephraim and Richfield. Snow College is rated in the top 10% for community colleges in the nation. Visit their website today at www.snow.edu. As we have a resume to play. Ball one for Roberts. Roberts walking back to the mound. Big kid up to bat. A lefty. As Roberts finds the strike zone with strike one. And ball two, outside and high for Roberts. I mentioned earlier, pitchers can either throw from the stretch or the windup. Really no rules there. And no reason to not throw from the windup because runners can't lead off and steal until the ball crosses home plate.
You know, as we change pitchers right here, this is important that we keep up that momentum defensively and get strikes across the plate. And you know, Riley's been our best pitcher all year long, but these other kids have done a good job too. So hopefully they can come in and continue what Riley started for us.
And here we are in the bottom of the second inning with the South Sevier a 3-0 lead and a line drive back to Parsons. Parsons picks it up and makes the play at first base. Parsons finding a good job, doing a good job, getting a lot of action at second.
Yeah, that was a really nice play, and then Grayson over at first base did a nice job of snagging that ball too.
Coach Roberts telling me today that Grayson might have a chance to play first, and he really hasn't practiced that position very much. So I had a decision as a father to either tell him and stress him out because he'd be playing a new position or not tell him. I elected to not tell him and just quiz him about what to do if you're on first. So far, Weary doing a good job at first. Ball in the dirt. Roberts takes a deep breath. This is a friend of mine's boy up to bat. I believe his name is Mateo. My buddy out here in the cheap seats pulled his RV up next to us. And he sees strike two.
You know, and really the view from out here in the outfield is actually really good, so nothing to complain about with the luxury of the truck and the AC and out of the rain, you name it. We got good seats out here.
And just as Stuart says that, I'm noticing less raindrops on my windshield as number 7 for Hartwell takes first base. Now up, Kyle Javier for Hartwell. Take a deep breath, huh?
Dude, you know my biggest thing with him is? He watches the strikes come across the plate.
My
and he's
boy.
a little guy. So it's easy to get walked. It's harder for your pitchers, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude. And poor kid, he's at this like cheap little $20 bat from Big Five. And then all the other kids have like these expensive bats. I was like, dude, Pop, I'll get you a bat, but you got a sweet motherfucker. Because I ain't gonna have a $100 bat with you. Is this your little man right here? Big, you looking back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute. I saw him wave at you.
Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
See, these little guys, they want the walks. Yeah. I'm like, don't get in there and look for the walk. Look for a hit.
Now the pitch from Roberts. Swung on. And strike 3.
You know, that's one of the hard things with these young kids is some of them feel like they find some success walking, and it's you know, a hard balance to strike when you're trying to get them to be aggressive and hit, but swing at good pitches and not learn to want to walk to get on base.
Yes, it's a balance you have to play as a parent. And outside ball. Kell Larson, good job behind the mound, behind the plate, keeping the balls from going to the backstop.
I think they made a switch back there. I think that might be Riley Sawyer back there. I'm not sure, but looks that way to me.
Let me double check that for you. Yeah, that looks like Riley.
Let's go, Papa! Time to move those legs!
Sawyer behind the plate as Hartwell takes second. And that's a strike for Roberts. Ray's doing a good job of mixing up balls and strikes. And ball in the dirt, knocked down by Sawyer. 2 outs for the Rams. And a high fly ball, gonna be to first. Weary with the catch.
Yeah, that's one of the Papa moments right there. Nice play over there by Weary. Good job, Grayson.
Those are tough. And that ends the inning. Actually, that ends the bottom of the 3rd. And we're gonna have a new pitcher. And last night I liked watching this pitcher pitch. He's got a lot of, let me think of the word. He's got a lot of style up there. I like watching him. He doesn't throw the ball hard, but he was able to find the strike zone a lot. And you just got to root for this kid, because I remember watching last night. One time he was on 3rd, and he's not a fast runner, and Hartwell was able to get him around to home base. As he crossed home, you could see the fist pump as they beat Richfield last night.
Really, that's what's most enjoyable about watching these games is when these kids make a good play or they get a good hit or they score a run, just to see the smile on their faces and see the excitement that they have. You know, that's what's neat is you see these kids play for the right reasons and they play for the fun of the game. And, you know, on the flip side of that, you see the opposite too. You see the heartbreak when they don't do things right. Sometimes you'll see tears when they get struck out or they get out on the base pass, whatever it might be. And, you know, it's fun with those emotions, but that's the learning part of sports and these baseball games.
We got a quick sponsor for you. Jorgensen Honda is a family-owned and operated business established in 1964. Jorgensen Honda is a one-stop shop for all your big boy toys and outdoor needs. They service what they sell and will make sure you're a satisfied customer. Give Dennis or Mike a call at 435-896-6408 or visit them at 980 South Coveview Road in Richfield. I say that's a good place to spend your Biden bucks.
I don't know. Anything Biden for me is not a good thing, but got right.
Absolutely, and we will have up to bat. This is going to be a little harder because I know we've made some substitutions. We might be at Nick's
Looks like
Nick's Roberts. Porter will be on deck. And ball one in the dirt. I think Hartwell's second game, this pitcher might have been the player of the game. I may be mistaken, but he might have been the winning run for Hartwell against Richfield. High pitch. Roberts doesn't like it. Roberts, swing on and miss, unable to find the right timing.
Yeah, it looks like he's swinging right over the top of those pitches, and again, it's because of that little bit of an arc with these slower pitches.
I'm telling you, every team needs a slower pitcher like this. Roberts, unable to find a hit. Porter now up to bat. And that's a strike. Ball's inside. We're listening to conversations over here from the Roner Park coach. He says he agrees with me that every pitcher needs a slow pitcher. Every team needs a slow pitcher to throw the timing off. Sheridan with the grounder, but Porter's fast. And Porter out at first. Sheridan, pretty tough shortstop. Porter has the legs.
Yeah, Sheridan looked like a big leader on that play. He picked it up with his glove and fired to first, in a hurry. That was a great play again.
Now up for the Rams, Sawyer. And a fly ball to center field. Sawyer with the nice 2-out hit. Next up is going to be Kell Larson. On deck, a substitution in the game will be Berkeley Weary as Kell base to base, and Sawyer rounds second and heads for third. Sawyer stands up at third, and Kell Larson with the heads up play fooled everyone, even myself, and now I look at him on second. Correction. Madden Matthey is the substitution for Cutler Hepworth. Madden swings on strike one. Rams will be looking to score here, an any passed ball. Sawyer with the legs. 2 outs. And that ball is low in the dirt. Hoping for Madden to get a hit here. 2 runners in scoring position. And that's a strike. Salsevier with 2 outs. And the pitch for Madden fouls it off. Lunging at that one a little bit. 2 strikes for Madden. Two runners in scoring position. Opportunity for some RBIs right here for Matthew. Here's the pitch. And he fouls that one off. Madden will see another.
Yeah, Madden's hanging tough in there. He's battling with 2 strikes. Looks like he's protecting pretty well, and hopefully he can put this ball in play somewhere.
It's interesting to see all these different batters adjust to the slower pitches. And the pitch. Madden lets it go by. That's high. Count evens 2-2. Madden swung on, strike 3, ends the inning. Oh, the umpire's raising his hands. He might have nicked it. The team's running off the field, but the umpire has his hands in the air. Might have been just enough of a foul tick to keep Matthew alive.
Yeah, I think that fooled a lot of us. Everybody ran off the field except for Madden. So he's the only one that knew, other than the umpire, that that was a foul ball.
And that's strike 3. Again, Hartwell ends the inning with runners on. Hartwell doing a good job of limiting the damage in both last 2 innings. Rams are scoreless in the 2nd and 3rd. You gotta love watching Jack Parsons hustle out there to 2nd.
I'm not sure what you call that. That looked a little bit like the butterfly dance as he was running out the field. Let's just hope it doesn't translate into chasing butterflies.
Absolutely.
Sometimes these 8-year-olds do that.
I would say my boy is one of those victims too. Madden Matthew out in right. There's also a challenge as a coach, and I'm glad I don't get to make these decisions, to get everybody a little bit of playing time, even sometimes in these games where you really want to put the pedal on and go for the win. You also need to get everybody some playing time.
You know, I'm not sure if there's a rule, but I think there might be a rule where every member on the team has to play, you know, an inning or get at least 1 at bat, something to that effect. And you know, obviously every kid should get a chance to see the field and even hit the ball.
Yeah, most teams electing to bring 10 or 11 or 12 players. I think one team even has 13, so they have a little more of a challenge.
We'll probably keep the extra hitter in tomorrow on Friday. I think they'll get.
Also, teams will have the opportunity to bat a DH and bat 10 batters, or limit that and only bat 9.
As we start the top of this 4th inning, the skies are darkening, Rick, and the rain is starting to drip on down again. So hopefully we can get the rest of this game in without any delays.
Most of these games, a great finding a hole. And we're going to have a double for Hartwell. Number 9 stands up on 2nd, and Hartwell is cheering for that. Great job by number 9 finding a hole in the defense just over 3rd.
Yeah, that ball was just barely over the third baseman's head and right down the line. Not necessarily hit hard, but it doesn't always need to be hit hard to be in the right place and get a good hit.
Able to find the gap is number 9, and now he's on 2nd with a double. And that's strike, but it's in the dirt. We're going to have a third base stolen. Number 4, the third batter in their lineup. Swung on, strike 2. I'm seeing a lot more life out of the Rams, cheering on their teammates and knowing what's going on. A little more pep in their step. And that's strike 3. Batter is out. Roberts finds the outside corner.
Yeah, that brings Sheridan to the plate. It'll be interesting to see if he continues to be the best player on this Long Beach team as he, singled his first time up and hit the ball hard. Let's see what he does here.
Coaches for South Sawyer backing up the left fielder. And it's going to come right to him. No, great play by Sawyer to make the stop. Weary drops it, but Sheridan elects to stay on first. And that's going to be the first run for Hartwell. Sheridan with an RBI. Great stop by number 11. That was Kell Larson. Great play by Kell to limit that to just a single. And we have a stolen second base for Sheridan. South Sawyer with a 2-point lead, Roberts needing to get out of this inning. And ball as Sheridan takes a aggressive lead on second. And we have 3 balls, no strikes for Roberts. Needs to find the strike zone here. First base is open. And Hartwell taking it. We might have a play at third as Sheridan stills. Berkeley Weary picks it up and gets the ball back to, overthrows the pitcher.
The good thing with that play by Berkeley is he just got it back into the infield quick, and sometimes these outfielders hesitate, and that allows those runners to advance. So just a good job getting the ball back in quickly.
Count is 3-1 for Roberts. And a fly ball over second baseman. That's going to score another run. And we are now at 2 for Hartwell, 3 for the Rams. Now we have a runner on first with 1 out. A high pitch for Roberts, and he's still second. Great heads-up play to take the force off for number 12. He's not a fast runner, but he's heads up. Looks like Sawyer might switch mitts. You got to get your lucky glove out there, Stuart.
I'm not sure I ever had a lucky glove.
As number 9 steps up to the plate, he's a big kid. I believe he bats 5th in the lineup, and Roberts having a hard time finding the strike zone. This number 9 might be a substitution, batting in the 5th spot. And this is Might be the, well, no it isn't. I would say this might be the first time the lights came on this weekend, but I think they've been on. And Hartwell still doing more damage. Coach Roberts comes out and talks to his son. The tying run on third for Hartwell. Rams will have their last at bat at home as home. We don't know exactly the time limit. We may go more innings. South Sawyer needing to do anything they can to end this one. Ground ball double play up the middle would be what the doctor ordered. Roberts again high. Reyes takes a deep breath. And Beans, the batter, loading up the bases. Roberts frustrated with himself. The lefty up to bat. Number 42 bats 7th in the lineup. Coach Roberts bringing in the infield. Somebody for South Sawyer is going to need to make a great play here. Roberts finds the strike zone. Number 12, the big pitcher on third, not with a lot of speed. If Roberts can get a strikeout here, then the force is on any base. Two strikes for Roberts. And a good location for Roberts with the count in his advantage. Hartwell players cheering on their teammate. And Roberts again outside. Count evens 2-2.
You know, this is a big inning with the bases loaded. We really need to get a couple outs here and try to get out of this inning without, you know, totally changing the momentum.
And we're going to have a ground ball through the infield. Madden stops it at second. Gets it into second, and Hartwell's going to score 2 runs. And I mentioned that big kid, number 12. He's got a good attitude. And we are going to have a substitution for the Rams. We're going to switch Roberts.
You know, again, sometimes these pitching changes, you know, switch the momentum back and forth, and you never know what's going to happen. So hopefully we can, you know, make this change and get out of this inning without any more damage.
And the damage was done by Hartwell. They take the lead at 4-2. The hard pill to swallow is the walk and hit by pitch, giving runners, putting people on base. Hartwell able to get some hits in the right time. And I just saw some lightning. Stewart.
Yeah, that has me a little worried. The sky is really darkened up, and then rain is coming down. It's not coming down hard, but hopefully it passes quickly without any more lightning.
That was a hard right in the gap by the lefty. As we have another sponsor for you, Sevier Valley Hospital. As your community hospital, Sevier Valley remains true to their tradition of providing high quality, affordable health care with a personal hometown touch. And Kimball and Roberts CPA wishing the South Sevier Rams the best of luck in this tournament. Monroe Canyon Assisted Living is a beautiful home with a warm and caring atmosphere, providing large private rooms with a 24/7 support and health care services. We promote independence and social interaction in a loving, safe environment for each and every resident, located at 535 South Main Street in Monroe. Find them at 435-527-8870. Umpire telling Nix Roberts the whole situation here. And I don't know the umpire was ready.
Yeah, I think that pitch was thrown without the umpire being ready. I don't think that pitch counted, but you know, we've seen a few of those this tournament.
Yeah. In South Sevier's defense, half their season was without an umpire. Just brave dads standing at the back of the dugout calling balls and strikes. And ball outside as Roberts tries to find the strike zone. 3-0 the count. And another painful runner on base with a free ride.
Yeah, walks kill you at any level, and this inning it's certainly come back and bitten the Rams a couple times. So hopefully we can find the strike zone and start making them put that ball in play.
Roberts settles in. And again, ball high. This kid's strike zone is not going to be very big. Nix has usually done a good job throwing strikes. South Sevier in a sticky situation as Roberts throws a strike. Bases loaded with one out. Tamara Parsons texted in and would like me to announce the first annual Hot Shot Cornhole Tournament on the 24th of July. Check in at 11 at the Monroe Elementary. That's what we need to get some of these dads and fans visiting from outside of town to compete in. You gotta love cornhole. And we're gonna have a fly ball back to the pitcher. No, that's Ray's. Caught that. That would have been an infield fly, and all the base runners smart and stayed on their bases.
Yeah, again, that was the infield fly rule. I think I saw the home plate umpire signal that on that particular play, and all the base runners held still. So good base running on Southern California's part, and a good play by the Rams to make that play, even though it was already an out.
Yeah. And now we have 2 outs for the Rams. I totally, from here, misjudged that fly ball. I thought it was coming here to left field.
Yeah, I might have slid up and tried to get underneath it, but the comfort and the safety of the truck prevented it.
And strike 2. If Roberts can finish this batter with the bases loaded, it will be ideal for the Rams. Hartwell with a 1-run advantage. And the Rams get the strike 3 with the bases loaded. Congratulations, Nix Roberts, coming in relief in a tough situation and gets an out and a strikeout.
Yeah, Nix came in. We got 2 big outs right there with the pop out and the strikeout to strand 3 runners on base, and that was just a good job by him to come in that tough situation and limit the damage.
Let's get some more sponsors for you. Jones and DeMille Engineering, for all your engineering needs, with offices all across the state of Utah. The infrastructure professionals, give them a call at 435-896-8266. We wish all the teams the best of luck this season. And Sevier Valley Oil is located at 1105 South Highway 118 in Richfield. Has all your fuel, oil, and lubricant needs covered. We also offer propane delivery. Sevier Valley Oil is locally owned and open to the public. This is going to be a first for me. High pressure situation. 2 weary boys sit on deck, up to bat and on deck.
Yeah, and both of them are due for hits, so I'm thinking that both kids can come in, make a hit, and get on base. We'll get a rally going right here, Rick. So let's calm the nerves. They're going to do it.
Well, I'll admit I'm saying a little prayer silently here. This will work in Berkeley's advantage. He's usually behind. This pitcher throws strikes, which is good for our batters. Forces them to hit.
Up to bat for South Sevier, number 45, Grayson Weary.
Grayson being told to move up in the box. And that's ball 1 high outside. And a ground ball. That's going to get through the infield, and Grayson Weary gets a single, turns and looks at it.
Well, I'm halfway right, Rick. We got 1 more, and it's going to happen right here. Berkeley's going to get a hit too. We're going to have 2 runners on.
And that's going to be a ball outside as Weary still second. Great job getting the force off. Weary calls time smartly as Sheridan held the tag on him. We've had one of those where, was it our team that stole second and then forgot to call time, and as he's standing up. And that's ball 2 inside for Berkeley. Weary. Berkeley Weary. And that's ball inside, 3-0. And swung on, strike one for Berkeley.
Yeah, it looked like Berkeley originally thought that was going to be a ball and started to step back and then swung. So not his best swing, but I'm glad he's being aggressive.
Absolutely. And that's going to be ball 4.
Well, there you go, Rick. 2 weary boys up, 2 weary boys on, just like you wanted to see.
Now I can finally take a deep breath as Twitchell comes up to bat. And that's strike 1. Easton Twitchell got a hit his first at bat. In the hole will be Parsons. Twitchell with the ground ball up the middle, and there might be a play at second. Berkeley slides in. We have a pass ball, and Grayson Weary heads up running. He scores second. Berkeley to third. And now we have a tie ball game with runners on the corner. Twitchell coming up with a clutch base hit up the middle. It's really good, Hepworth, to see some of these batters that are on the bottom of the lineup also getting at-bats and getting on and getting hits for Twitchell.
Yeah, and we're starting to near the crucial part of this game. We're getting towards the end, and so we really got to cash in and get all these runs in and get a lead and widen as far as we can.
And swung on by Parsons. No balls, 1 strike for Parsons. If Berkeley Weary gets a chance to come across home plate and there's not a play, you might see a celebration. Because he's excited. He's a pumped up kid right now. He will be the leading run for the Rams, the go-ahead run. Twitchell on second.
Well, and that's what you like to see, these kids with a big smile on their face, and I'm sure Berkeley, like you said, will if he can get in.
And a good hit. Oh, that's a great play by number 99, diving catch. Parsons stolen from the hit.
Yeah, and that's too bad for Jack, because he hit that one on the button, and he's been struggling at the plate a little bit, but he hit it hard, and that's sometimes all you can do, and sometimes you just have to tip your hat to the fielder when they make a good play like that, and that second baseman made a great play.
Got to congratulate him for the play. Great smart base running by Twitchell, able to get back to second. As we have the top of the lineup, Nix Roberts has gone 1 for 2 with 1 strikeout and 1 base hit. I think these kids are starting to find their timing for this pitcher. And ball high for Roberts. If that hit would have got through the middle, that probably would have scored 2 runs. The heart of the lineup for the Rams. Hopefully they can do some damage here and get a lead. Roberts, an aggressive hitter. And that's going to be foul off the backstop.
Well, the nice thing about being a home team with these young kids is just what we're seeing right now. You know, you get a chance to take the lead back in your half of the inning. So hopefully the Rams can get these 2 runs in.
Great momentum swing with Grayson and Berkeley Weary getting on to start the inning, and then Twitchell getting a base hit. And that's going to be a hard hit ball. That's going to get through the infield and the outfield. That's going to score 2 runs. Berkeley Weary scores, and Easton Twitchell right behind him. Clutch hit for Roberts.
Yeah, great job by Nix there or Rays was it? Rays to hit that ball, line drive to left field and score 2 runs.
Commentating and announcing in the back with some of these Hispanic names and stuff, I struggle a little bit. Sometimes you just got to take one name and just say the Roberts. So Roberts on first, Roberts up to bat. South Sevier starting to find their timing with this pitcher. Usually it takes. And Kell's going to steal third also. Great heads up play by Kell Larson. Now we have a runner 90 feet. Actually, it's not 90, is it, Stuart?
Not in this age, but I couldn't tell you how far it is.
We have a runner on third and a 2-run lead and a great hit. That's going to get through the outfield by Roberts. He rounds first. He's rounding second, headed for third. Triple for Roberts.
Yeah, that was a great hit. That split the gap and allowed Roberts to get all the way around. But, again, kudos to these outfielders for getting that ball in quick enough that he couldn't get all the way around to home. We've seen that a few times throughout the course of the season, too, where if the ball goes by the outfielders, it's an inside the park home.
Yes. Now we have Kelton Porter, the dangerous Kelton Porter, up to bat with a runner on third. Kelton can do some nasty things to that baseball.
Yeah, before he gets up, though, like we're going to have another pitching change. And again, that timing that we are just starting to find could go out the window with a new pitcher.
Yeah, they're bringing in the big number 50. When I say big, he's tough in stature.
You know what they say, Rick? It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the fight in the dog. So let's see what this man's got.
This is the similar rotation. They brought this kid in last night, I believe, for some relief. Number 50. Again, folks, if you're watching, thank Michael and Reggie and the Parsons family at KTTA for bringing you this special tournament of baseball. This is the 2021 Cal Ripken 8-year-old Pacific Southwest Regional Tournament. We are now deep into it. We are in the 4th inning. South Sevier with a 3-point lead over Hartwell. This game matters for Hartwell, not so much for the Rams in the standing. It also, though, matters for South Sevier to get some confidence going into what's the opposite of pool play?
I guess it's the knockout round tournament
Yes.
play tomorrow.
Yes, so after this game, if teams lose, they are out. And South Sevier, we already know their seeding. They will face off tomorrow at 10 against the Richfield Wildcats. We will bring that game to you from the comfort of my truck, Stuart. I'm going to get out here early and park in this spot. Porter with a hit. Oh, and there's 2 outs. There was only 1 out.
Yeah, that would have made a double play had he got that ball to third base in time, but we got there just in the nick of time to avoid the double play on that little fly ball.
I thought there was 2 outs as well as Roberts. He was going. Sheridan again. If you're giving a player of the game, that Sheridan has done good on short. And another line drive back to the pitcher. We're going to have a run score as Sawyer hits the ball hard. Pitcher able to get his glove on it. Not able to catch it, though. Kell Larson back up to bat. I hope I didn't see what he just did. Did you see that, Stuart?
No, I didn't. I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Kell Larson just called his pitch, pointed to the outfield. I think I saw that right. He's brimming with confidence. And we have some action, and Kell gets out at first.
Well, let's hope he didn't call his hit, because again, now that's one of those plays where, you know, it's better to be humble than a little bit on the opposite end of that, and as he grounds back to the pitcher.
And now we have a tight ball game, folks. We're going to start the next inning because we're not out of time. And South Sevier able to get a few more runs with a 4-point lead. Roberts will still be on the mound. Weary will still be on first. Twitchell will still be on second. Porter will still be in center. I think we might have been a little over aggressive. I'm getting a text that the score is 7-4.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if I got a little over anxious there, but
We'll give them 8 if we need to.
yeah.
That tightens up the ball game a little bit more. Hepworth in left, substitution for Weary. And I think Knox Piper is going to be back in the game at right. A little tougher outfield now. Hepworth not had a lot of opportunity to play outfield this year and called on to play left field.
You know, it's been a challenging tournament for Cutler. You know, speaking of his dad, he's had a rough go defensively. He's dropped a couple pop-ups and struggled a little bit, and I think that's why he's been moved out the outfield. But it should be a learning experience for him as well. He's got to, you know, adapt and maintain a positive attitude and keep playing hard. That's the lesson.
Also, as a young athlete grows in the sport, it's important to be a well-rounded player, to be able to play multiple positions. The term is a 5-tool player. Player needs to be able to pitch if called on, catch if called on, play infield if called on, play outfield if called on, and also the final tool needs to be able to hit the ball.
Yeah, I actually love it when kids get moved around and have to learn a lot of different positions. I think it's a mistake to get a kid thinking that he can only play in one spot.
Up to bat for Long Beach, number 9, Caleb Alvarez.
You might need to hit update. Hopefully we got the score correct at 7.7-4. As the lefty Alvarez steps up to the plate. Touches every corner of the plate with his bat. And the ball is high. I also can't get my game changer to update. And the kids look up and see a little sunshine as Roberts throws a strike. We're doing the best we have with the tools we have. Game changer is stuck in the 4th inning with Madden Matthew up to bat. That happened a while ago. Somebody's car alarm has gone off. We will play through. And ball outside for Roberts.
Yeah, again, it looks like this rain is going to let up now as the sun starts to approach over for a pretty nice finish to this evening.
Coaches, umpires, and players will be watching the clock. If South Sevier can get their outs with the right amount of time, they won't need their at bat. I know I'm getting ahead of myself. They need some outs first.
Well, this is kind of the position they were in against Bill the first game of the tournament, and they end up coming out on the wrong side that first ball game. The only difference is this time we're the home team. So even if this Southern California team takes the lead, we'll at least get our last at-bats.
Sal Sevier holding on to a 3-point lead. Runner is on first. Number 4 for Hartwell is up. And that ball's in the dirt well before it hit the plate. Might have slipped out of Roberts' hands there. The runner still second. Force is now off. This kid number 4 for Hartwell looks like he can hit the ball. And Roberts again having a hard time finding the strike zone. Count is now 2 balls, 1 strike. Roberts now brings the count to 3-1. Roberts did a great job coming in relief last inning. And we might have got our balls and strikes mixed up. That's ball 4 for Roberts. Puts another runner on. That means the tying run, who has a hot bat, is up to bat. Look for a great play here by Sal Sevier. Sheridan can hit the ball. And great job by Sawyer. To stop the ball. And that's a strike for Roberts. Sheridan looks at his father. Sheridan wanted that. And the ball's in the dirt. We might have a play at third. We don't.
You know, just looking at what's going on right now, this is one of their good hitters up to bat, and I'm a little concerned because we have a huge gap between center field and left field where Kelton and Cutler are playing, and if he can split that gap, that's trouble.
And that's a fly ball to the catcher. Oh, and he's unable to catch it. Those are the toughest catches to catch. It bounced foul, though. Sawyer, good job getting under it, but those are the toughest catches to catch. I'll admit that. I catched in high school.
You know, and Riley was fortunate that ball was out of fair territory when he went to catch it, and Sheridan was fortunate because Riley didn't catch it, so a little bit of luck going both ways that time.
Now we have 2 strikes for Sheridan, though, and that was close, a little bit high. If that could have been maybe an inch lower, Sheridan might have been walking to his dugout. We have a full count. And Roberts puts the third. Is that 3 walks in a row, or did they hit once?
No, I think that's 3 walks in a row, so that's a little sketchy right now, and it looks like we're going to make another pitching change as my anxiety now is going to step up a notch or 2.
Cutler Hepworth being called in from left field for relief. Kell Larson's going to go to first. Grayson Weary's going to go to left. Shuffling around players as Hepworth did a good job pitching yesterday. Hopefully he can find the strike zone.
You know, Cutler's done a good job over the course of throwing strikes. He doesn't always throw the hardest, but as we've seen today, sometimes that doesn't matter. You know, the funny thing with Cutler is that he's got a lot of things in his head. He's learned how to throw a 2-seam fastball, and he's worried about throwing curveballs and changeups. And for an 8-year-old, I think that's just a little too much for him right now, and it's kind of, you know, messed him up rather than helped him. He's thinking too much on the mound, and I've been trying to tell him, just get up there and throw the ball. quit worrying about all the other stuff. Throw the ball hard and try to throw it over the plate.
Hepworth brought into a high pressure situation as the umpire tells him the situation, and the situation is just this. Runners on first, second, and third with no outs. South Sevier with a 7-4 lead.
You know, and defensively, what the Rams need to worry about is not so much the runners on base as just getting an out at this point, you know, just get an out.
And that's ball one outside for Hepworth. And now we see a little bit more rain on our windshield. Ball two outside for Hepworth. No play at the plate though. Rams having a hard time finding the strike zone. All three batters reached upon walks. And that might be the first strike for Hepworth. Good location, a little inside. And swung on strike two for Hepworth. Coming in for relief of Roberts.
You know, sometimes the key for Cutler is he has a tendency to try to aim it, and when he tries to aim it and lob it in there, he doesn't do as well. He needs to just throw that ball, let it loose.
And that's ball in the dirt. Hartwell respecting the speed of Sawyer behind the plate. You also now got to try to worry about keeping the ball dry. And ball four, walks. A run in. No defense against a walk.
Yeah, that's the key right now. Is that's 4 walks in a row, and we got to find the strike zone here, Rick.
And ground ball up the middle. We might have a play. That goes under Porter's legs, and we're going to have some damage done by Hartwell. This is a seesaw battle. Hartwell gets 3 runs in. And I believe takes the lead on that one hit by number 8.
You know, and the sad thing about that is those runs were walks. Those were free passes.
Yes, Porter unable to make the play in center field. And number 8 comes up with a stolen base on third. This game matters very much for Hartwell, fighting for position in seeding. South Sevier already at the 7th seed. And Hepworth another ball. South Sevier will face off against Richfield tomorrow. And there's a strike 3, called strike 3 with the first out. Hepworth finding the strike zone now. The big lefty up to bat now for Hartwell. And we have a line drive to shortstop, Rays Roberts. He knocked it down with his chest. And they score another run. Hard hit ball at Roberts. Funny hop. That bounced all the way up to his chest.
Yeah, that was a hard hit ball, and Rays was good to just keep in front of it and knock it down to keep it in the infield.
We might need to double check our score. Giving a thumbs up from Parsons, but Game Changer says 9-8.
Well, that would make me feel better because that's what I had it earlier is 8 runs. So hopefully that's correct.
So we're going to hit update on our iPad and make sure that we have the correct score at Hartwell 9, Rams 8. If we have to, we'll send a runner in between innings to look at the correct score. And a ground ball back to Hepworth. He gets the out at first. 2 outs now for the Rams.
You know, if we could get out of this inning down 1, I like our chances in the bottom half of this inning of regaining that lead. What do you think, Rick?
I do too. We will have a pretty tough lineup up. I think we might have Cutler and then, well, we'll see who's up because Cutler re-entered the game, so I don't know what position he'll come up to hit. I would love for Cutler to re-enter the game and come back up and hit to help himself out on the mound.
Yeah, not only you, but his dad would too. So that's what we're hoping, that Cutler can get another chance, you know, and get out of this inning without giving up any more runs.
And Hartwell had a tough first 3 innings held scoreless, and then 4 in the 4th, and now 5 in the 5th. Rams had a good inning last inning with 5 runs. And ball outside. Count is even, 2-2. This has been one of my funnest games to watch. And we might have a dead ball, batter beaned.
Yeah,
it's tough. He didn't move out of the way. He just let it hit him.
Yeah, it looked like he turned, you know, and allowed that to hit him. But, you know, it's a smart play, especially if you let it hit you in a spot that's not going to hurt. And
okay, we are going to give a shout out to a fan all the way from Long Beach. Edith Aguirre, right? Aguirre. Grayson Garcia's mom is watching all the way from Long Beach, California. I badgered your name, I apologize, but also thanks for watching.
you know, I'm almost a little bit embarrassed to hear that somebody in California is listening to us commentate. You know, a couple of rookies out here, really, you know, amateur broadcasters, but we appreciate you listening in.
And we love what we're doing here. Thank you all, folks. KTTA and streaming live on YouTube. Ground ball in the dirt. How cool is that? When someone from Long Beach, California is watching baseball all the way in Monroe, Utah, as Hepworth gets out of the inning with a strike three, swung on and missed, and the Rams are pumped going into this inning, down one. The pressure will be on.
It's really good to see those kids excited with that kind of energy coming off the field, being down one. That tells me that there's hope that they can come back and win this game. And besides that, Rick, I don't know if you noticed, we had this rainstorm kind of go over the top of us, and if you look right above the field, you're going to see as good a rainbow as you could possibly see. So what a great setting for a baseball game tonight.
That might even be Instagram worthy. I'm going to take a pause here, take a picture of this.
And in fact, my kids would say we got the double rainbow going. So we've got the real clear one and another one right above it.
we're gonna have to get that outside of the camera as we pause. Let me roll the window down so we don't. We have a full rainbow. Hopefully that is a good sign for the Rams. That right there, folks, will go on my Instagram as a beautiful picture, and we're here playing baseball in a wonderful setting here.
Yeah, as we drop the microphone and make a mess out of our situation here in Rick's Chevy truck, can't help but appreciate the beauty of the surrounding mountains and the rainbow and the green field and the red dirt and playing baseball. I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be right now, Rick.
Absolutely. Watching our sons as proud parents. You all folks out there too, watching these teams compete, play well. Credit Hartwell for not giving up, fighting all the way until the end. And let's see what the Rams can do. I believe I was right, Stuart. I believe number 8, Cutler Hepworth, is going to come up to bat first.
You know, if it is Cutler, he's kind of been in a hitting slump. He's been putting a bat on the ball and hitting it and making contact, but he's not been hitting it hard every time. And I told him before the game today, Bud, I want you to get up there and swing hard and try to make hard contact. And hopefully he'll get up and get the pitch he wants and smack one somewhere.
All right, folks. This is a special, we'll call it a special little treat. We took a picture from our view right now. You can see a full-on double rainbow in the sky with the baseball field and your kids underneath. If you want to see that picture, go to my Instagram, or if you know me, send it out to your friends. My Instagram handle is Rick from Roe, R-O-E, at Instagram. What a setting. As Hepworth grounds to third, we might have a tight play. And he's out. Number 4, the big guy on third, makes the play. And now the pressure shifts from you to me as my boy steps up to plate. Grayson Weary up to bat. Grayson grounded through the middle infield. Grounded between shortstop and third last at bat. Missed that pitch by a little shot. And he hits another ground ball to third. This one might be a little slower. Tighter play, and the third baseman comes up clutch again. 2 ground balls to the third baseman and 2 great plays and throws.
Yeah, exactly. Those were 2 good plays. I mean, they weren't the hardest hit balls, and that third baseman was in a good position to charge him, field him, and fire to first to get the out.
And we have a substitution in the game. Sal Sevier needing to do something now. Subbed out Berkeley Weary and brought in Knox Piper. That's a hard pill to swallow as a dad. But the coach brings in Piper to hopefully give a spark for the Rams.
You know, and Kelton has been hitting the ball, or Knox has been hitting the ball pretty hard this tournament. Let's hope he can get another hit right here and spark that rally. 2-out rally.
And Knox misses the pitch. Strike 2. Easton Twitchell on deck, hoping to get an opportunity. And that's ball. Coach wanted strike 3. Just a bit outside. And Knox hits it up the middle. Wow, my eyesight is off. I thought that was up the middle, but it's a foul ball.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought that was right over the pitcher's head, and as it turns out, it was just to the right of the first baseman.
We only get the cheap seats out here and left. We're switching balls. Knox Piper strikes out to maybe end the game. We don't know how much time.
It does appear, though, as the Southern California team seems to be celebrating, that this game is over.
That's a tough situation. Knox Piper getting put in, and he struck out in 4 pitches. And we are getting information about player of the game, and as a dad, I'm a little honored to announce this, and I think I heard it right, but the player of the game for the Rams was Grayson Weary, and we'll hope to overhear who was the player of the game was for Hartwell.
Well, if I had a pick, I would have gone with probably Sheridan in this case. He made plays throughout the game, but there's certainly a couple other of the Southern California kids that would be worthy as well.
Also number 9 with those 2 plays at third in clutch situations. In 8U, if you think about it, these kids with the strength of their arms, I'd have to say the hardest position to play is third. And that number 9, the big kid for Hartwell, came out and made 2 great plays, fielded the ball perfectly, came up and made the out at first.
Now, as you know, South Sevier is going to have to look forward to tomorrow's game against Richfield, and hopefully they can bounce back and get one victory here. As for the Southern California team, I'm not sure what their schedule will be tomorrow, but congratulations to them on this victory. You know, come from behind. You know, they made the plays when they needed to get this win.
Hartwell will be a pretty high-seeded team because I know their record is 2 wins and 1 loss. Both of their victories over South Sevier teams. And I'd also like to give another shout out. A good close friend of mine. Dave Schick, is watching at home with his wife, Whitney. And thank them for watching as Hartwell celebrates their victory. Tough pill for Rams, but I have to congratulate them for fighting. They were down, they came back, and then pitching ultimately being the problem as an excess of walks in those last 2 innings.
Yeah, at one point we walked 4 batters, and all 4 of those came around to score, and that's, you know, those are the learning things that these kids have to take away, is we just got to find a strike zone in those clutch situations and force the other team to make plays, because when you give up free passes, you know, they always seem to come around and bite you in the end.
And I've watched a lot of baseball in these first 3 days, and if a pitcher is struggling, they will take the first pitch and make that pitcher throw a strike first. And sometimes with these little kids, that'll carry over to ball 1, ball 2, and if nothing else, it gets them in the lead and it'll force these pitchers to throw strikes. We are just thankful for you watching here on KTTA. I am Rick Weary, and I'm joined by Stuart Hepworth. Thanks for watching, folks.
Thanks, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, please tune in for a rivalry action where we'll have Richfield fighting against South Sevier at 10 o'clock.